you're not alone. Like, you're not alone in how you feel. Now you can comfort somebody else that's going through that. Now you can be there for people who experience it just like you, man. So it's just like, I think it's special that we can have these kind of conversations and talk about, yo, like, I've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, I made it to the other side.
Yeah.
Now I want to help you get there.
Yeah. Look, this isn't just a podcast, this is motivation. They be like, Rez training who? I just know they hate. We ain't being patient, cause that mean that we be waiting. We just seeing greatness, I don't want it if it's painless. But that's in the past tense. Since I put the weed down, I've been snapping. Always had the tools to make it happen. Whether it was playing ball or getting rapping. Wasn't one box, these carrots can have me trapped in the cycle of a black man. I'm just trying to break it. All by myself with them L's, I had to face it. Life is what you make it, you can't let nobody take it. Gotta watch out for them fake. First stack your bread, don't stay complacent. God's gift.
Welcome back to ShowtimeSpeaks the Keep Going podcast. The season of bringing dreams and ideas to life.
Hold on, Sheed. I'm back in the building. Hold on.
Hey, he's back! Oh my God, I'm about to break something up for you. Hey!
Oh my goodness, yo.
What's up, bro? It's good to be back, bro. It's good to be back. A lot of energy.
Listen, we just now starting the episode. We got a guest in the building. I can't be getting emotional before we even start the episode. Like, it's funny, man. You go through all the things that you've been through. You know, we've been talking about keep going. We've been talking about mental health. We've been talking about, you know, all these different things, right? And you see things happen like right in front of you, like full circle. Welcome back, bro.
It's good to be back, bro.
No, it don't even feel like, it don't even feel real that you even sitting across from the, you know what I mean? Like, this is 5-6 months of
bro.
It just being me, Matt, Austin. Like it's just crazy, man. Like when you sit back and you watch how things unfold, and we talking about the keep going journey, and we talk about, you know, finding a way to keep going. We found a way to keep going while you were out there in Miami, while you were doing this, while I'm back here. I'm working for us, bro. And to have you here back in the building, back in the flesh, man, I missed you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we back in the building, we back, bro.
Yeah, bro. It don't feel real to me either, bro. It's again the love, I mean, I saw a lot of family this weekend, friends, they saying the same thing. And most importantly, like my people, bro. It's good to be back. And it's nothing like home. You know what I mean? It was good. I said it before in the last episode. Yeah. It's good to get away and just see what really matters to you, bro. And that was good for me. It was good to get away. It was good to clear my head and you know, it's good to be back, bro. I'm ready. Like I said, it's a lot of things in motion this summer. Camp coming up May 31st. And just big things in the works, bro.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love it, bro. We got a big time guest in the building, man. Before we even introduce him, like we've been talking about the whole, you know, mental health stuff and what we all been going through. You know, our next guest is a physical therapist, and a close friend of mine now. Over these past few years, I've been working with him. We've done a lot of work together. I believe that, you know, especially when it comes to mental health, as an athlete, not only physically you go through things, but mentally you go through things too. And it's just like, they both play hand in hand.
100%.
And, you know, this next guest, I can't wait for you guys to hear him because, you know, he's been through a lot himself, but he's a guru, man. He's a guru at what he does. I'm going to give him a full introduction. You know, I got the whole introduction for him before we even get started, man. So this is where we bring the energy back up. Introducing Mr. Artem, doctor of physical therapy, a bone and joint muscle guru. Listen, this dude has worked with over 1,000 clients, from pro athletes to your average person. And seriously, man, one of the best dudes in business, man. Artem, welcome to the podcast, big dog. Like, how you feeling? What's going on? How you doing?
Thank you, sir. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man.
How long have we been trying to make this happen? 2 years?
I think probably, yeah, it's been.
How many times have it said, Sheed, send me the date?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. You're a schedule guy too. I'm an emotional guy.
Yeah, yep.
So things happen emotionally for me, and you got to have things like strictly to the T, to the point, because that's how physical therapists work.
I hear you.
But
some of the conversations that we've had,
yeah, man,
I wish we could have had here.
1000%, man. That's why we're here, man, to really talk about, a lot about you, and also just about, being a physical therapist, also about your journey on how you found a way to keep going. I think it's important to really like shine a light on people like you who deal with people firsthand. I mean, you're dealing with real problems, real issues, and having to deal with your own. You got your own family. We're going to dive into everything, man. So if people don't know who Artem is, who is Artem?
Well, as you've already mentioned, my passion and the thing that I feel like I was put on this earth to do was to be a physical therapist. So working with athletes, working with active adults, helping them through pain, injuries, whatever. But obviously I'm also a father, a husband.
Yeah.
And that's kind of probably the two most important things in my life is family and like what I do.
Yeah.
How'd you get into it? Did something happen to you? Like, how'd you get into this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's pretty cliche, but like every PT has had their like fair share of injuries and recovery. But I don't even know if that was like the biggest draw to this career. It was honestly like training and being in the gym and like just being around like fitness and that culture that got me into it. It was before I even became a PT, I was supposed to go to school for business. Oh, wow. And one of my training partners in the gym was a year ahead of me, and he was going to school for PT. Yeah. He was telling me everything that he was doing in school, and I was like, yo, that sounds way more interesting than anything that I've heard about this like business, career. So I ended up like pretty much immediately switching my major and getting to PT. And the further I got into it, the more interested I became. And it's just like, it's a never ending journey because the human body is, nobody will ever have a full understanding of like the body's capabilities. Yeah. So there's something always to learn. Yeah. Right. So if you're a process oriented person or a journey oriented person, you'll never get bored.
I love it, man. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of, physical therapists, a lot of PT people, a lot of like the people in the NFL, the people in the CFL have built great relationships with these people. I love learning new things about myself, about my own body. I've learned so much by being around you. Before we even get into our relationship, I want you to kind of go to your family background, like how you grew up. Just talk about that so people can really get a chance to really know who you really are as the person.
Yeah. So I actually wasn't born in the U.S. I ended up coming over here to America when I was 6 from Ukraine, and kind of grew up in Northeast Philly. Ended up like picking up the language. Like I had zero English coming to America. Ended up picking up the language, getting through school. Was supposed to go to high school in Philly, but my mom wanted me out. So we moved to the suburbs, and that's kind of like the community that I built has been in the area that we've like moved into where the clinic is. And that's kind of like, where I went to Temple. Okay. So Mr. Jordan Spector from a couple of weeks ago, like him and I went to school together. So I've actually knew him like coming in here.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, from there, just like I started wrestling, started building a community in jiu-jitsu. And that's really how like where I dove into like the fitness side of things and got into like the physical therapy side of things and just kept going deeper and deeper into that.
Yo, that is, to be honest, like, we've been talking about like Jordan came on and he talked about the art of being an artist. I think when we're talking about being a physical therapist, that's an art in its own too. Like you really got to be stuck in it. And like, it's funny because like every time I would come in there, you got like this structured out plan on what you want to do. And we talk about, you should have been on the podcast probably a year and a half ago, but like you like to be planned, structured, and things need to be in order. Like talk about how that plays a role in how you became a physical therapist. Like you are a structured dude, yo. Like where does that come from?
To be honest, I think I'm more disorganized than you think I am. If you spend a little bit of time in my head, you would know it's pure chaos. I'm able to exude some, maybe with a little bit of confidence and just having the skills that I have from your perspective. It looks organized. It looks structured.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in my head. I think it also comes with experience. Just being able to put together a plan quickly and efficiently with the person in front of you. Because ultimately, like I can come into a session with a game plan, and you can come in and throw me a curveball. Like, yo, this is going on. Like that plan goes out the window.
Yeah.
I've had enough reps. I've had enough experience. I know you well enough because we've shared a lot of time together. We've talked a lot. I know, like, immediately right off the bat, like, okay, we're going to do a 180 here. We're going to go after this. And because, you know, I know what I'm doing, I can kind of structure that plan pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's crazy you say that, right? Because this is what you do. And I'm going to just say an example of she spoke at our youngin's graduation party on Sunday. It's like, dang, man, I wish I was prepared. I'm like, bro, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You can go in any room at any given time. Yo, bro, you trying to speak? You going to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
You may not think it's good.
1,000%.
But like, everybody else going to think it's good. Just like me yesterday, I'm in, started with LaSalle High School, and I don't got none of my equipment, bro. And I had 9 cones.
Yeah.
9 cones yesterday with like 70 kids. And I'm like, dang, like where the cones at? Like where, like, but all I need is a line, a cone, and bodies.
No, 1,000%.
And I can make it
Anything
work.
happen.
Anything happen, bro.
Some of the best sessions that you probably had came from creativity and intuition.
Yep.
And you know, the more experience you get, the more bodies, the more people you work with, the more intuitive you can become.
100%.
So like maybe you've had this experience before. I've had like students come through and try to learn.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like hard to teach that because it is so much like, okay, this feels right in this moment. I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this exercise. I wanted to have this conversation.
Yeah.
It just felt right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I like it, man. I love it. Like, I really, really, really want to talk about how important physical therapy is. And like, from my own perspective, like, being around you has changed my life completely. You know what I'm saying? Because during a time, and I'll just talk about our relationship. I was at a point in my career where like I needed more. And like, I feel like a lot of us athletes, right? We know we need more, but we don't do nothing about it. We just stick to what we loyal to. We stick to what our routine is. And we be like, you know what? This works for me. I felt like when I was working out I was just working out with a certain person, I wasn't getting the full benefit of myself. So when I started adding you, Kenny, Doc, like all 3 spectrums together, I saw the best version of me. But like, the importance of those small muscles and those different things that help with triggering certain body parts. I want you to talk about how important those small muscles and those small little minute things, how important they are for our athletes.
1,000%. If I could start in a different spot, because I think that the most important part of our relationship, and you mentioned this earlier, is the kind of like the mental health perspective, the communication aspect 1,000%. That we have.
Yeah.
Because beyond it, you mentioned already, like being in pain, especially for an athlete where you depend on your body, could be, I mean, career ending, detrimental, could sap your confidence. Having somebody to be able to like communicate those things to, and then to be able to kind of like hand the wheel over to somebody else to take care of your body and to kind of guide you and your body to where they need to be and have you get out of the driver's seat is stress relieving.
Bro, it really truly is, yo.
If you're dealing with some, you know, stuff and you feel like you're the only person that's responsible and like, but you might not know enough.
Yeah.
And you might be, whatever you're doing might have worked 10 years ago when you were 20, but now that you're like, you might need a shift in perspective.
1,000%.
Right. So it beyond just like, okay, like the specifics of the little muscles and joints and all that, it's the mindset shift that can happen when you hire a coach or hire a PT, whoever it is, to help you with the thing that you're struggling with.
1,000%.
I have a question. Like from a parent's perspective, and the way that you guys are talking about this, because I don't know, we go to the physical therapist when a doctor says it's time. Like, what do you feel is like? Is that something that people should look at as something that they actually do, just like you have a trainer, you have whoever, you have your coaches. Is a physical therapist for a high school kid, or, you know, just because they're growing through a lot too, I think from a growth standpoint,
100%.
growing pains. Like I know my son, like as he's been growing, like back issues or whatever, because they train a lot. So like, do you feel like that's something that is good for people to add in, or do you think it is kind of, you get the call when there's an injury that happens? Like, I feel like it seems like it should be more of a preventative
For sure.
thing.
Well, just like you go for like annual physicals, you get blood work, you get everything checked up on, because you're trying to maintain your body, right? You only have one for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Your movement system, right? That keeps you going, right? So beyond the blood work, beyond all that, like being able to maintain your like physical structure, in my mind, is, to your point, 100% valid to be, you know, whether it's preventative or just like doing it as like an annual kind of check-in. I think that has to be
1,000%.
part of the process.
So more of like an annual.
Yeah, why wait until you get injured? For
Right.
something?
Yeah, exactly.
There are things that, you know, I may see from like my testing and all that may tell me like, okay, like you're losing some quality here, you're losing some movement quality, some range of motion, whatever. That may like set you up for failure. Why don't we take care of that before it actually happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that, like the prevention.
Yeah.
And that was one of the main reasons why, like, bro, to be honest, let's talk about, like, Kenny, you introduced me to Artem.
Yeah, because she was telling me his knee was bothering him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
A lot.
and nothing against no other trainers and stuff like that, even myself. And I'm like, bro, I can't help. I know some stuff, but I can't help you with it. But, you know, might go to Artem, you know what I mean? And I don't know, Mike goes to Artem. He was going to Dr. Mike at first. And I'm like, Mike loves him. Go check him out. And it was right up where he was already training. You know, I'm a true believer of like you said earlier, everybody is good at what they're good at. You know what I mean? And I don't have an ego. And if I can't help you with something, I'm going to send you to the best. And I did this multiple times. Tone, our boy Tone, he comes to you, says his back was messing up. Look, bro, go check out Artem. I heard he good. He'd work with She.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm a true believer of like, if I can't help the athlete,
bro,
go see somebody else. Or I know somebody who can help you.
Yeah.
I mean, and no ego, because at the end of the day, it's all for the athlete.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's not about anybody else. It's about the athlete. How can we get them better? And it takes a village. It takes a team.
Well, it's all relationship.
And for sure.
You know, like, because you're going to build that relationship, and now with him, and now you guys are, you know.
It's like a trust level.
Exactly.
And because that was the biggest thing for me, like, I'm loyal I'm talking about to the T, to the bone, like to the core. And like, if I don't know that somebody got a relationship with that person or it's some kind of connection, it kind of like makes me, and that's why I mentioned, like, sometimes we got to get out of our own way.
Yeah. Facts.
Like, as athletes, we get so stuck in our ways of thinking that I'm good, and don't go seek the help. It's the same thing when we talking about the mental health. It's the same exact thing. Why not do it for your body as much as, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with our minds. Why not do it for your mind as well? And it's just like, because sometimes, and I'm the most annoyed and aggravated when something on my body is bothering me. When my knee is bothering me, I'm grumpy. I'm not the best player. I'm not who I want to be. And I'm just saying, like, seeing you, Artem, and I just want to give you your flowers, bro. Like, these last couple of years, man, like, you've helped change me physically. Mentally, you've been somebody who I've been able to talk to, somebody who I've been able to complain to. You stick me with them damn needles and I hate it. You get what I'm saying? And doing things that I don't like. You know, I appreciate you, man. I just want to say that publicly because, you know, you've meant a lot to me over these past years and my growth, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Likewise, brother. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, you bring the energy. You're someone that, like, I wake up every day and I never, literally, there hasn't been a day where I don't want to go to work because of the clients, because of clients like you.
Yeah.
Right? The people that come through that you even if we weren't doing PT, I would love for you to come in and just chill and
1,000%.
BS and talk about whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing that keeps me going.
Yeah.
Now, I got a question. I want to get more deeper into the point where an athlete is, you know, tears the ACL or tears something. And how do you connect with them mentally? Like, how do you get them over that mental hump?
1000%.
Like, how do you connect with them, like, throughout that process? Because they're out there low.
Yeah.
How are you, like, what's your thing to get them mentally going so their body can kind of connect on one way?
I think the very first step, and maybe Sheed, if you could like reflect on how we started our relationship.
Yeah.
The very first thing that we did was we sat down, we talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it was almost like an interview from it's not like I was testing you I was asking you questions.
Yeah.
Like, what's your perspective on your injury? What do you think about this? Do you think this can even get better? Like, are you hopeful? Getting an understanding of where a person's mindset is at, understanding their goals and like the why behind their goals
Yeah.
allows you to like actually build a connection with them and figure out like, okay, like what are the motivating factors that then you can use, right? How am I going to then structure my plan to support the conversation that we just had?
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's more so like gaining an understanding of the person's mindset that allows you to build connection and then help guide them like back to where they want to be.
Like that.
And then obviously like helping them shift their mindset from like, this sucks. I can't believe I'm in this situation to like, okay, like look at what's possible. Like, look at all these people that have gotten there. You can get there too. There's no reason why you can't. Let's set these small goals, these small wins, so you can like see the progress for yourself. And if it, some people are a little bit more negative than others, you kind of have to like help shift their perspective and like focus on those wins.
Like the small wins.
Because when you're in it, like it always kind of sucks. Like until you get on the other side and reflect on it, it's like when you're on the other side, it wasn't that bad. But when you're in it, especially something catastrophic like that, I mean, you've been through it too.
I've been through it, and that's why I was saying,
it's terrible when you're. But if somebody can help you, kind of gain a better understanding of your current perspective, and then gradually help you shift that perspective. That's important.
It's crazy, bro, because not to toot my own horn, I did my rehab myself, bro.
Come on, man.
I mean, bro, but during that process, I was thinking about going that route. Like, I was thinking about, like, dang, maybe I should be a PT, but I ain't trying to go back to school for like 4 years. Yeah, but like,
to be honest with you, I mean, you're a coach, I'm a coach.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what to your point earlier, we have our specialization. We have our zones that we're good at, but it's just another avenue of coaching.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely because that meant tearing your Achilles. Like when I be seeing like Jason Tatum and these dudes tear their Achilles, I'm like, I know what they're going through. So like, it's crazy at the moment, but like again, when you focus on them small wins every day, I remember I forget the athlete, but what got me through was like not worrying about. I was focusing on getting better every day rather than getting back. And I say that to everybody. I'm like, whatever you're going through, like if they tear the ACL, I said, focus on getting better every day rather than getting back. And then before you know it, you're going to get back. Because every single day I'm thinking about it now, bro. Like, dang, I came back in like 5 months. Because every day I was working on, I had the band on my ankle. I'm doing sitting toe-ups every day. I'm doing little balancing drills in the crib. And then out of nowhere, I'm walking. I'm like, dang. Then I'm running. Then I'm running a half marathon.
Talk that talk.
Real rap. So
now that you've been through it, like reflecting back on it, because I've had my fair share of injuries and surgeries and all that. It's not that, it doesn't seem as bad as it was when you were in it.
Facts.
And that's like, if you've been through it once and you get there, it's like, all right, it sucks now. I'm going to get through this. I got through it before. I've gotten through maybe worse. It'll be fine.
And you can get through anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
What's a typical day being a physical therapist? Like what's the day look like for you? Like what's your system? I know we're talking about the mental health aspect and I want to talk more about that, but like, how does your system work? Do you have homework? I know these answers already, but I want the people to know this. Like, how does your next level physical therapy system work and how have you seen results from it?
Yeah. So, are you cool if I pull you into some of these questions to kind of like reflect on your own, on your own experience? Because We already talked about the fact that my very first step with the client is going to be to understand their perspective, understand the why behind their goals, so I can meet them. I can meet you at your story. And then if there's a change in perspective that needs to happen, I can kind of like walk you towards my story, right? But once I get an understanding of what your goals are, where you're at mentally, the next step is to figure out where you're at physically. And ultimately, like knowing the injury, knowing the problem, the thing that I do is, okay, like I understand all the factors that are involved, range of motion, strength, you know, the sport that you're looking to play. Now, what I need to understand is like, what are the rate limiting factors? Meaning like, where are the limitations that are leading to this issue, whether it be a pain or whether like what led to your ACL tear, whatever it is.
1,000%.
From there, it's the process is reverse engineering. Right. We're at the end. We got to get you back to the point, ideally, at least where you were prior to the injury, if not even better. Right. So that once I understand the factors, then it becomes about structuring the plan, whatever we might need to work on, like range of motion to start, pain alleviation, so we can get your, you know, mentally you can kind of like relax a little bit on constant pain. And then it's gradually making you more and more resilient. So that means like building endurance, building strength, plyometrics, all that kind of stuff to get you back to where you want to be.
I love it, man.
Now, one more question, and this is a little deeper. Can you prevent this stuff? Like, can you prevent tearing your Achilles? Can you prevent tearing your ACL? Can you prevent, you know what I mean? Is it a way you can prevent it? Or?
I think prevention might not be like the right, like risk reduction. Like you
like that word.
There are certain variables that play, you know, you can, if there's a hole in the turf or whatever and you step in it and that's why you, I don't know if you're going to prevent that. Right. I don't know if there was anything that you could have done to prevent that. But what if you maximize the amount of range you have in your foot, knee, hip? That way you can buffer the stress of whatever that incident was. That might reduce your risk of getting hurt. So it's like there are certain qualities that if you maximize, there's like a concept called like movement variability. Basically how much like buffer zone you have for your knee to cave in. Right? Let's say you have like no movement in your ankle, your knee caves in, like that might be catastrophic. But let's say you have enough buffer where that knee can kind of like, or I'm sorry, that ankle can make up for that knee, kind of compensate a little bit. Now you might have reduced your risk of getting injured.
I see that.
So that's prevention. There's too many variables to like consider, and there's too many variables that are outside of your control to prevent anything, but to reduce the risk, sure.
Okay. Because, you know, some trainers.
No, 1,000%.
Somebody nah, he should have been doing this. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to ask that question.
What are your 3 top things that right now people are at home, people watch this episode, people see this and say, all right, I'm going to use this to be better, to get better. Like, what are your 3 top things that you would recommend for people?
You mean in terms of actually like doing?
Like doing or buying or whether it's whatever. I know, but I want you to say. Big shout out to the sponsor, Cozy Jeweler, the jeweler that keeps us cool. Oops, I meant cozy. Stop playing. Step up to the 5 C's. Color, clarity, cut, carrot, cozy, diamond. And big shout out to Shuyans, man. Oh my goodness, man. Super, super excited about this new venture. The Shuyan family, full service clothing and formal wear for boys to men, from tuxedos to your favorite fitted suits. Because if you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you play good. You can visit them at ShuyonsClothing.com and also located 1201 Buck Road, Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Listen, go check them out. If you want to get suited and booted, you want to be fitted real nice, listen, go to Shuyans. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
I mean, first of all, like you can never outwork diet, sleep, all those, like the qualities that keep your physiology right.
Yeah.
Right. So first and foremost, make sure that is in check. That's kind of like your big rocks. Secondly, from a like movement perspective, I think it's important for everyone to have some kind of movement practice. Whatever that is, that gets your body moving outside of sitting at a desk, taking a walk, and doing your chores. Whatever that may be, if that's yoga for you, if that's some of this, like the rehab work that we've done. In the gym training, you have to have some kind of movement practice to keep your body moving. Your body was meant to move in 3 different planes of motion. If you just sit at a chair all day, it's going to break down. You're going to start to lose your range of motion, your strength, all that kind of stuff. And the last piece is breathing.
Yeah.
We've literally, it's your body's number one priority is to be able to breathe. So being able to effectively.
Nah, for real. Not real rap though. You don't even really think about it because sometimes you ever like unconsciously not be breathing.
No, bro. Let me take a deep breath real quick.
Well, go ahead. Yeah.
The way you want to think about it is like the very foundation of your movement is breathing.
Yeah, man.
Without moving a single muscle or joint in your body, you take a breath in, everything in your body moves.
Wow.
Your diaphragm descends, so it kind of pulls down into your rib cage. It pushes everything down to your pelvis. That gets your pelvis to move. That gets your spine to move. Your rib cage moves. So your shoulders that are attached to it move. Everything moves. Every time you take a breath in, you take 20,000 breaths a day.
Come on, man. Stop playing with Art, man. He a guru. This is what he do. This is what he does, man. I love it, man, because I know it probably sounds boring. I know it probably sounds minute. And you're like, I ain't listening to that. I'm telling you, athletes, tap in, listen, because like the reason why you're not a top athlete is because you're not doing these 3 things, man. Do these 3 things. Like start doing your homework, start doing your research, man. These things matter when it pertains to you trying to become a pro athlete. Some people are just physically gifted, but some of us got to work a little harder. Some people got to go buy a roller, go get lacrosse balls, go spend time. I just posted a video on TikTok or whatever the case may be. Like, yo, spend time stretching, breathing, like doing these things, because like, when you're not doing it, you're just creating more tension, creating more stress, creating more irritability. Like all that stuff is just building up. And if you're not taking care of yourself, man, it's just, you're not going to have a healthy body. And, you know, it's important, man. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring you on, Artem, is because like, I want to push the narrative of like, yo, like we need to start paying more attention to these different things to help having a healthier body. So I think it was important to have you on to really express this and talk about this. Now let's really just bring the focus back to you. Like when it pertains to like, we talking about the mental health stuff, how do you personally deal with all the stress and the pressure? Like you have your own clinic, you got people who work underneath of you, you got interns coming in. Like talk about the responsibility and the pressure that you deal with on a daily basis.
It's one of those things I'm sure you have stressors and pressure and I don't necessarily know if I sit there and think about it in that way.
Yeah.
The way I kind of like think about things and what keeps me level headed is one, like understanding like what makes me happy in life.
Yeah.
Right. Just having an idea of that will allow me to like kind of stay level headed. And then from there, like making sure I'm actually like putting those things into my life. So, okay, like if I wasn't training, yeah, I'd probably be miserable. All those things that happened in the clinic and those would stress me out a lot more, but I have an ability to ground myself by spending time with my family, by training, going to jiu-jitsu, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That allows me to be present in the clinic, take care of the issues that I need to take care of. And then the second thing I think about is like, what is the alternative?
Yeah.
Well, like, would I rather be doing anything besides this?
Yeah.
No. Would I rather be at some like mom and pop clinic working with clients that I don't know?
Right.
So there are at each level, there are certain stressors that come with the role that you play, the thing that you do. And you kind of have to accept that like this is part of it.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to do enough to, alleviate stress, keep yourself level headed and like keep yourself going.
I love it, man.
I like that.
Let's hop into the picture segment, man. We're gonna dive a little deeper into your life. And you see how I set that up? I set that up for you to talk about yourself so we can talk about you a little bit more. Let's go to this first picture, man. You just talked about.
I should have came in sleeveless, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about what you do to kind of keep yourself level headed and doing all these different things. I mean, you've been like you knew me from Body Dynamics, and I don't even remember don't even remember meeting you while I was there, but we trained at the same place at one point. You was doing some bodybuilding stuff, man. Talk about your journey in this space and like your background to lifting and doing all these things go hand in hand, and you becoming a physical therapist is because you've done this work. You've done all the physical stuff. So talk about this experience and you being in this, man.
Yeah. I mentioned that like my work and my family were two of the most important things in my life. The third is my training. And I think the reason why I hold it so like dear and like close to me is when I was younger, I was a little fat kid. I don't think you knew that about me.
Nah.
And obviously like a lot of like insecurity and all that like came with that. And one of the things that helped me like turn my life around was training. Like in I think 8th grade or whatever, I would come home every day, go for a run, do sit-ups, push-ups, and it allowed me to like transform my body. And that completely like transformed my mind too. Like I was no longer insecure and shy, and I actually had confidence in myself.
Yeah.
And that like kept me going. And honestly, like training has allowed me to build relationships. So like when I got to high school, being in the weight room allowed me to like make friends, people that share the same like common ground and like common interests. It allowed me to get better at the sport that, I wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
It allowed me to get better at the sport. I was stronger. I was a better athlete. So it just led to like so many like pivotal changes and improvements in my life that like, I mean, there's not like a week that goes by that I'm not in the gym and I'm not trying to improve myself physically.
Now, what's your routine? Like what's your split?
Yeah, it's evolved over time. I mean, the picture that you just saw was when I was competing in powerlifting. So my training was all squat, bench, deadlift. That's all I did, and that's all I trained for, and that's all I cared about. Since then, those training sessions take a really long time.
Nah, facts, yeah.
Since becoming a father and working full time, it's a little tough to spend like 3 hours at a time in the gym. So at this point, it's more of like a bodybuilding, just trying to maintain, trying to look good.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to avoid the dad bod.
Yeah, I feel you.
And beat pro athletes in the grip test.
Yes, sir. That's the most important.
Yo, this dude is crazy. Yo, he got one win, and come on, man, stop playing, yo, come on.
I'm undefeated still. I don't one win. One win.
Nah, man, like, yo, I see why you strong. I see these. Listen, when I take a deep dive in people's life and I see what they've been through, yo, you've been lifting for some years, man. You've been doing this, man. You got that Ukrainian strength, man. You different, bro. Let's go to the next thing, man. And I think that when you have these pivotal moments in your life, right? It's certain things in your life that define who you really are. And this picture right here, talk about it, man.
Yeah, so I think it was like back in 2014, I made it to the finals of a jiu-jitsu tournament. And within the first minute of the match, knee blows out. It was like a weird takedown thing. And that literally, from that moment, that took away 2 years of my life of being able to train, being able to compete, do anything. Again, we were talking about it earlier, reflecting on it. I remember in the moment, it sucked. It was terrible. But at this point, it allows me to kind of have a better perspective or have a better understanding of like what my clients are going through. So it's like all these things that have like happened to me and all like the other pictures that we'll go through, I don't even look at negatively anymore. It's what allowed me to get to the point, like I'm very happy with where I am, what I do and all that. But the only reason I'm here is because of those things. And so, I'm kind of glad it happened.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It takes real humility. It takes real perspective to see things like that, man, because when you're in those moments, like we've been talking about, it sucks. It sucks. But I think the most pivotal part that you said is now I know what my clients are going through.
Yep.
And this is so crazy because I think me and Kenny kind of experienced like that up and down thing of, it'd be times where we getting it, we going crazy. And then like these last few months, man, like he out Miami, I'm here, and our running and conditioning hasn't been the same.
Yep.
And then as trainer, pro athlete, you start to feel insecure about yourself. Like, dang, I gained a few pounds. Like, dang, and it sucks and it's hard. But now you know what other people are going through.
Yep.
And that's what these situations prepare you for. It puts you in a position that like, yo, like, you're not alone. Like, you're not alone in how you feel. Now you can comfort somebody else that's going through that. Now you can be there for people who experience it just like you, man. So it's just like, I think it's special that we can have these kind of conversations and talk about, yo, like, I've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I made it to the other side.
Yeah.
Now I want to help you get there.
Yeah. And you can share your perspective, you can share your experiences, and that might help somebody. That might inspire, at the least,
1,000%.
might inspire. And then it might actually give them strategies and tactics to like overcome whatever issue to get to the other side, just like you did. I wish I rehabbed myself, man. That's
Look,
that would have been a way cooler story.
I have like 3 or 4 of my homies who tore their Achilles after me.
Right after.
And I'm the first call every time. Yo,
Dr. Kenny.
I think I tore my Achilles. Like, I honestly helped like 2 people rehab a little bit.
For real.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Talk about that feeling though. Talk about the feeling of helping somebody get back. Like, what does that do for you? Like, is it I'm going out for a drink and I feel good? Or is it, I did it. Like, I do this for real. Or like, what's that feeling like when you accomplish getting somebody over a hump? What does that do for you?
It's happiness.
Yeah.
Right. And your point, you mentioned like, oh, like I did it. I try to like stay away from that mindset because it's not about me. Right. The reason why, we have those conversations in the beginning is for me to understand you and what drives you and what makes you happy. Because honestly, that's going to be a shared experience at the end. Yeah. Right. So it's just, if I'm fortunate enough to help a client get to their goals. Yeah. It's just pure excitement and happiness. I'm happy for you. Yeah. I try to take myself out of it. It's not about me.
Nah, yeah, I love it, man. That's what you do, man. I can tell you this, man. When I'm scoring touchdowns and having some of my best years, and I remember like we'll talk on the phone. And I'm telling you what's going on. I'm like, yeah, and it's cool to have those relationships and have those conversations and see something that you helped bring back to life, see it be successful. I mean,
bro, it makes me proud.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's
to be part of, like, to be a part of someone's journey and then watch them succeed. You can't help but like just be proud.
ShowtimeSpeaks, man. Come on, man. Let's go to this next picture. You've been talking about this. I can't even say it.
Yo, that's the match I tore my ACL.
For real.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, that's crazy. And, I mean, I think I can kick your ass, but no, but that's a joke. That's a joke. But
real scared.
You better say that.
talk about this experience, man. Like, and the level of discipline and the level of, come on, man. Talk about this, man, because a lot of people don't know too much about jiu-jitsu, and talk about the sport.
Well, I've been just like you've been a lifelong football player. I've been a lifelong martial artist, not just jiu-jitsu, but I've done a bunch of stuff like even prior to it. But as an adult, it becomes an outlet for stress. It becomes like a part of your social circle. Yeah. So it's like when you're an adult, you got a family, you don't really go and like chill with your boys all the time, but you get into the gym and you talk to people and you hang out with people and you get to bullshit, and it's a combat sport, so it just becomes like an amazing outlet for whatever stressors, whether it's at the office, in life, whatever. It becomes an amazing outlet, so you can go home and be present. And that's really like, I think honestly at this point, what it is, I'm not pursuing like competitions. It's not about that. It's more about like keeping myself grounded, keeping myself humble by getting, you get your ass kicked enough, you kind of know what's possible. And
real life, yo.
Yeah, and it's just another way for me to be able to stay present in my life.
Yeah.
So you can break somebody's neck?
I'm not like Steven Seagal, dude. I could break someone's arm, leg, ankle, foot. Yeah. Neck's kind of extreme. I choke you out.
Let me ask you a question. Like when you walk into a bar, like you feel like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what my real.
Like when you walk into a bar, like do you
Dude, the problem becomes the more you know, the more you realize how dangerous it is for something like to get in a bar fight. So you try to avoid it as much. Okay, yes, I've been training for a long time. I feel confident that I'd be able to defend myself, which is good. But you try to avoid conflict at all costs.
Yeah.
Because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
You never know what can happen. Somebody could hit the curb and break their skull and die.
Yeah.
So if anything, if it teaches you anything, it's like it gives you the skills, which is great, boosts your confidence, which is great, but it allows you to recognize how bad things can get and how dangerous it can be, so you can avoid it at all costs.
What's one of the biggest lessons they teach you in that? Like, because I know it's a big, like discipline and like the black belts and different belts. What belt are you?
Brown belt.
Brown belt. So, what does it take for you to be a black belt?
I mean, there's different qualifiers, but honestly, like time, experience, like you putting in the work over time, and like obviously, different coaches will belt you higher if you're competing more and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's time and experience, and obviously, like your skills getting better.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest qualities, specifically with jiu-jitsu, maybe Austin can jump in at some point, is your ability to like think and perform under pressure. There's literally someone attacking you, trying to strangle you or break your arm. You have to be able to slow things down. You have to be able to think and be present to be able to defend, attack, whatever.
Yeah.
And so performing under pressure is probably like one of the biggest and best qualities that you can get from BJJ.
I love it, bro.
You gonna come train?
Nah.
Nah.
Nah, I'm good. I ain't wrestling on no mat with
Yeah, I'm a lover. I ain't a fighter.
Let's go to the next thing, man. Like you talked about school.
Yeah.
You know, let's go back to that, man. This is a picture of you and your lovely wife. Like, just talk about like the stress of going to school for 7 years. Was it 7 years?
7 years total. Yeah.
7 years total of college and university and getting your master's and all that stuff like that. Talk about what it took to get it, to become a physical therapist, man. Talk about this, man, in this moment.
Bro, let's talk about what it took to even get there, not to finish. So when I graduated from Temple, or towards the tail end of my Temple career, you go through the process of applying to PT school and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I applied to like 7 schools, whatever, like and I got like 5 denial letters. And so like you have a summer between finishing your 4-year program and then like going to PT school.
Yeah.
And I got waitlisted by 2 programs. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going to PT school at this point. I'll apply next year. For the next year, I'm going to just grind, get more reps, get more experience. I started my own personal training business, started building a book of clients, took it a strength and conditioning internship to get more experience.
Wow.
So the PT programs usually start in August, like typical college programs. So this is like mid-August. I'm driving home from like training clients and I get a phone call from, I didn't even hear the school's name, but they're like, hey, we had a student drop out of the program. Like, are you interested in taking the spot?
Yeah.
This is a week before the program starts.
Wow.
Bro, I'm like 3 months into my clients, my business, the internship.
Wow.
And I didn't even hear, when I got the call, I didn't even hear what school it was. I had no clue. Like there was 2 schools that waitlisted me and both the names were kind of similar. So I was like, okay, am I going to go here? I had to wait for the email to see what the school was.
Yeah.
But obviously I was like, yeah, I'm in. So I had to drop all my clients. I had to drop my internship. Everyone was very understanding. And then within a week I moved from, Philly area to Reading, had to find a spot, had to hop on Craigslist, find a random house to
Talk about it. Yeah.
And, bro, I mean, I changed the path of my life. Wow. Like, who knows? If I took that entire year off, you hear it all the time. People take a year off, never go back to like whatever they were doing. Who knows what could have happened in that year? But literally the week before the program started, I got that call. And then, from there, the rest of the school's cool. Or rather, school is school. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing crazy about it. Honestly, the way I always put PT schools, like their job is to teach you how not to hurt somebody. You got to teach yourself how to help people once you're done school. And that's like through your own education, courses, mentors, all that kind of stuff. And that's been my journey ever since getting out of school. But the journey getting to school was definitely stressful.
Wow, I love it, man. I love it, man. We talking about all walks of life, yo. And, every single week, every single guest, it does not matter who you are. At some point, you got to take a risk. At some point, you got to take a chance on yourself. We've all been there. We got a physical therapist, trainer, Matt, business owner, FSC media, pro athlete, turning podcasters, motivational speaker. At some point, you got to take a risk and bet on yourself, man. And I never even knew that story. I thought it was all peaches and cream, man. So it's just like cool to even hear the story of Artem. And, you know, it takes a lot to become who you're trying to become, man. But you got to take those steps of taking that risk. And you took a risk. And, you know, one of those risks, you interned, right? With Next Level, correct?
Yeah.
Talk about this picture, this moment, and how it really set and shaped, like you just said, the rest of your life. Like, talk about it.
Yeah. So when I was like personal training and stuff, I knew I wanted to be a PT, and I kind of had a vision for like what kind of environment I wanted to work in, what kind of clients I wanted to work with. Even before I knew I wasn't going to be the hospital PT. I knew I wasn't going to be like the geriatric. I wanted to work with athletes. I wanted to work with people that like cared about their physical health, wanted to like pursue big goals, wanted to push their bodies. But there was nothing like that in our area. And you kind of know there still really isn't.
No, 1000%.
And, you know, one day I was you have to gain like volunteer hours for PT school. And one day I was on the internet, found this random clinic that just popped up. It was Mike, the owner of Next Level. I hit him up and I was like, yo, can I just like come check out what you're doing? I ended up he was 3 months into opening the business, and it was just him.
Wow.
So I got there, I saw what he was doing. I was like, okay, this is different. I haven't seen anybody doing this kind of stuff. Like I want to learn more. That entire summer I spent with him. I was technically Next Level's first free employee. Basically,
I made that. He had to
as he was building his business, he was getting out there, networking, doing these like team assessments and all that. He didn't have any help, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm right there. I'll help you out." And from there on, I just kept showing up. When I got to PT school, every time I'd be back in the area, I'm back at Next Level. Let me see, like
in Jersey.
In Jersey, yeah. You're always learning, so I want to learn with you. I want to see what you're doing now. And I got to the point where I had some amazing like mentorships while I was in school, some like internships, and I had such a strong relationship with Next Level that before I even got out of school, they were like, yo, like we want you to be on the team. And by that time they had already grown. They already had like 2 PTs on board with them.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer. It was like, I was lucky enough to go into PT school knowing how I wanted to practice, where I wanted to practice. And it all, 7 years now, and we're still here.
That's what's up, man.
You still not even really talking about like, yo, you got your own clinic.
Yeah.
Talk about that, like brag about that. I'll brag for you, yo. This dude has his own clinic. Next Level was based in Jersey.
Yeah.
You worked your ass off and got your own clinic. Yo, talk about that rewarding feeling of having your own space to operate near where you grew up, helping people in your community, doing this, doing that. Talk about that feeling, man.
Yeah. So when we were in Jersey, obviously I was part of the team, but it was something bigger than myself, right? There's a lot of other PTs there and all that. So to be able to, when it was time to expand, I was like, okay, like I got a spot. I got, the facility, we rent space out of a facility. I was like, this seems like a natural next step. If we want to expand as a company, the location is good. I live 8 minutes away. It's perfect. But then to have your own space, right? To not that anyone was like, watching over but to be completely free, right? To make your own decisions, to start getting out there and getting your name out there in the community was honestly, that was probably my favorite aspect of this entire process, was just getting out there, connecting with other businesses, all the same stuff that you're doing now. Networking, building those business relationships. It was a totally new thing for me, since, I didn't have to do that when I was in Jersey. But that just it was a new skill that I developed, and probably one of my favorite things at this point that I even do beyond the physical therapy is just getting out there in the community, building relationships, and helping the clinic grow as a result.
Man, you ground up, man. We talking about keep going. We talking about finding a way. You really set yourself apart. And if there's any other physical therapists out there, that's even people that are trying to become Artem, what would your advice be to these kids, these people who are in school doing these different things? What would you say to the younger version of yourself? What would you say?
I think honestly that the first thing is recognizing how important the journey is versus the destination. I mentioned earlier that the best part of the work that I do is there's always something to learn, but at the same time, that's the most overwhelming part, right? Because you'll never feel like you're there. You'll never feel like you know everything that you need to know. There's always going to be a client or a case that comes in that's going to challenge you, right? You're never going to be able to help everyone. But if you change your mindset to being process oriented, the excitement never stops. Oh my God, there's another thing that I can learn. There's a new system, there's a new thing, there's a new whatever. You can literally do this job forever and never get bored. Wow. So that'd be it's the mind shift, because otherwise you'll be miserable.
Kenny?
Nah, man, it's cool to hear. Again, like you said, every week, sometimes your perception of Artem, you would have thought he just went to PT school, got a job, boom. Everybody got a journey, and we all trying to figure stuff out, bro. And again, that's why it's called the Keep Going podcast, because no matter what, you got to keep going no matter what, and you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you started PT, personal training. Next thing you know, you got that call.
Bro, I was going to go to business school.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So we all here.
It's really cool, man. Now, as we shift, let's talk about what motivates you, man. Let's talk about the two people in this world that really, really pushes the best out of you, man. And it's this next picture, man. And talk about your boys, man. Talk about the feeling of being a father. Talk about, the floor is yours, man.
I think watching my kids grow up, one of the constant feelings that I have is just pride.
Yeah.
Just seeing them growing. They're still young. They're 4 and 2.5, but at every step of the way, you see them evolving. You see them getting smarter and interacting more with you. And you just have this overwhelming sense of joy and pride. And you can't even believe that you were a part of this creation.
Yeah.
And that, again, that's hopefully will never stop. And I don't think it will, because if you're invested and you're involved, I can see how you can continue that, and make sure you kind of mold these kids into what you envision them to be. Yeah. As long as you're present, you're part of the process.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's not easy. That's for sure.
Talk about those tough moments, man.
The day in and day out, just recovering from an injury. Sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you're like, shit.
No, you're good. That's the dad talking.
Yeah.
Shoot, Matt be talking about being a dad and how hard it is. And I know me and Kenny been talking about one day becoming a father and, learning from y'all. I know we have a lot of conversations talking about, your kids and your wife and everything like that, and how hard things can be at times. And it's special to have kids who look up to you and, you're present in their life.
It allows you to shift your focus from yourself to, which I think is important, right? And honestly, from I work with clients, Kenny works, it allows you to be able to empathize with people better, right? Because again, you take yourself out of the equation. You're so focused on helping this, child evolve and get better and grow. Those qualities can kind of transfer to like the work that you do, and your ability to be able to focus on the person in front of you.
I love it. Matt, Kenny. All right, here we go.
That was great.
As we like to finish every single episode, we always get to the end. And I think that this is always the best part of the show, man, because this is the moment where you talk about where you had to find a way to keep going, where you truly had to pick it all back up and you felt like it was over, like it was done, like you were depleted. You gave everything that you had, but you found a way to keep going, and you're still here. Talk about that moment, whether it's one moment, whether it's two moments, but talk about a space that you were in that you found a way to get out of it.
Well, honestly, I think probably the hardest part was the journey to PT school. I mean, there were so many. There was a point in time before I even submitted my application where there's like testing that you have to do and all that, and I literally got my scores back for the GRE, which is like one of the most prominent things that you need for your application. I was 1 point short of what I needed to even apply to PT school. Bro, I was like devastated. I was like, kidding me? I had to go back, study, grind, do all the work to take that test again. It's like a 4-something hour test. They only offer a couple times a year. So that was like the first kind of hurdle. You get through that, and then you start getting the denial letters and all. And again, this is like, I just went to school for 4 years to do this one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm looking at this saying, okay, like, I guess I'm not going to be who I want to be. Right. So that time was, and you know what? I think when Kenny was talking about his journey in like Florida and all that last week, you guys kind of talked about the fact that like, if you're putting energy out into the universe, good energy, you're putting in work, good things will come. Like you'll see things come towards you. And that's where like when I started, all right, what's next? I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up. All right, I'm doing internships. I'm working. I'm building my client book. I'm getting experience. Just those actions in my mind, put that energy out into the universe, and that the energy or the universe gave back. I got that call, and then now I'm here. Like it literally led to the rest of my life. So, again, sucks in the moment, but looking back, I don't regret any of it. I'm glad it all happened because it allowed me to build some mental fortitude and get to the point where I'm at.
Next level physical therapist, Mr. Artem, man. This is special, man. Like, hearing your story, hearing your journey. I'm glad you're my friend, man. I'm glad that we all met. I'm glad that hopefully, potentially, we can close a deal together for the podcast. But ultimately, promoting next level, promoting keep going, promoting never giving up, promoting just everything that we got going on, man, is truly, truly special. And I think that this will hit a lot of people, especially the physical therapy world, especially people who, think that they know you. And I think that the biggest gift that you can give anybody is their voice. So for you to come on to the show, we appreciate you. We thank you for your time. And I think it's important for people to hear the real version of you. And I think that being understood is the best thing that you can ever be. And I love the fact that we made this happen. I love the fact that we building this, and hopefully we can continue to keep building together.
Yes, sir.
Continue to keep walking on this journey with us, y'all. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Walk on this journey with us, y'all. Like, we've been building this thing, man, and it's truly becoming something special. It's the thing that's going to help a lot of us, man, and finding a way to keep going and finding a way to pivot and finding a way to get to the next level. It's extremely important. So continue to walk on this journey with us, y'all. And you already know it's always going to be Showtime Speaks. Come on.
What's the matter with you? There is no tomorrow.